The 49ers. Some of them claimed, during the Super Bowl, they did not know the overtime rules. That's what's being said yesterday, during the game, and then obviously into yesterday and today. People are like, look, we didn't even know the rules of overtime. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't realize that it had changed. And some of the players, which I have right here, mentioned it very clear. Listen, we had no idea it was like that. No one ever told us these rules and regulations. And then head coach Shanahan of the 49ers said, yeah, we went over it several times. And then obviously some of the players keep saying, no, we never even knew. Now, are they making excuses or are they being truthful? Because to be honest, the NFL changes rules every single year. Throughout the year, changes are being made. Obviously, we went down that road where you can't hit quarterbacks. You can't hit below the knees. Then it was you can't hit like this. You can't use your head. And then it was the overtime rules. And it has changed because before it was if you receive the ball in overtime and you score a touchdown, the game is over. If you kick the field goal, the other team gets a chance to come back and tie or win with a touchdown. So some of these players were saying like, look, we're going for a touchdown regardless. We don't know what's going on. We have no idea that the rules and the regulations have changed, which is very confusing because you're in the National Football League. You're literally in the National Football League. If you don't know these rules and regulations during the Super Bowl, there's some concerns. And this is a big attest to why Andy Reid was so special. And I'm not saying that, quote unquote, you need to be special to give your players the current rules and regulations of football. I mean, it's kind of obvious. If rules changed, your organization is notified and you let your players know. Everybody that talked in the locker room for the Chiefs said, we went over this in preseason. We went over this during the regular season. We went over this during the playoffs. We went over this before the Super Bowl. They were well aware of all the changes, but the 49ers were not. Now, is that an attest to, the hype, the energy, the first time getting a chance to be on a big stage, forgetting some things, or did your coach just not go over that? This is also concerning because the NFL changes rules yearly. And I think if you ask me, and I've said this countless times on this program, and I've said it before in a couple weeks ago, and then even last year, it was like, look, changing rules as far as overtime rules, I don't think that's a big deal, right? Making changes to make the game better, to make the final better, let two teams get a chance to touch the football. And when the time runs out, it's like going to the first quarter. It's not like overtime, the clock, ends and it's like the game's over. No, you actually have another quarter. It's a little confusing. But what I don't like is the rules and regulations for hitting players. You got to be able to play on the fly. And I've said this, you got to be able to play to the whistle, play 100%, make a tackle, not use the tip of your head. Obviously there's some injuries and some concussions issues, but making plays, hitting quarterbacks, trying to take the ball, playing to the whistle, playing 100% is important. And they kind of slowed that down in some of the regulations. But the overtime thing with the 49ers players coming back saying, look, we didn't even know. This is confusing on a lot of levels. You're in the Super Bowl. This is the biggest game of the year. And we're going to get into this at the end of today's program of America's sport, because football is still America's sport. And so we're going to go into that. And so if you don't know the rules and regulations, there are some issues there, and I think they need to discuss that. Definitely need to stop changing rules year by year. Hey guys, thanks for watching and tuning into the Brandon Mason Show. Please remember to like and subscribe. Until next time.